second door open. At any time, anybody can come and join us. Thanks for coming to my session with the title Jasper Reports in 3 Easy Steps. My name is Ivaylo Zashev. This is the third consecutive coming to me to Java Todays, and for the first time I'm here as a presenter. Few words about me. I am a software developer at Gobler Ltd. You see me here holding the A letter. Gobler Ltd is a company that we are actually half our company are developers, including me, and the other half are system administrators. More about me, as well I am earning my master degree on computer science at Technical University of Sofia. There is some colleagues from Technical University in the audience. As well, I am part of Bulgarian Java user group. You see that I am wearing a t-shirt of Bulgarian Java user group. And during the Java Todays and during other community events, if you see guys and ladies wearing t-shirts of Bulgarian Java user group, you should come and talk to them, discuss a problem, whether it is professional or just open source curiosity. They are really open, they are really helpful, and you can easily share your experience with them. For about 2 years, I am part of Bulgarian Java user group. The main functionality of this group is to organize events, whether they are open source or other community events. Why, you may be curious why I am so keen on participating in such an organization like our Java user group, because there I have a chance to meet cutting-edge technologies and the most modern practices in software development, and I can meet great teams like Venkat Subramaniam, Heinz Kabuts, Hadi Hariri as well. During my last meeting with Venkat Subramaniam, do you know who is Venkat Subramaniam? Okay. One person. During my last meeting with Venkat, during the session, he introduced to Bulgarian Java user group at our monthly event of J Professionals. He introduced the sentence that everybody have to perceive their goals to be rather professional than labor. What does it mean? It means that, for example, you are issued with a task, whether it is professional or if you're a student at the university. Everybody of us feel like this to accomplish this task for the most easy and the most error-prone and the most effortless way. But what is to be a professional? To be a professional is, depending on my opinion, this is to follow all the specifications, to follow all the obstructions from the community, not depending on your business plan, on your project. Okay, let's move to the essential part of my presentation. Actually, these sessions is going to be informal. We are not going to prove any concepts. I am gonna teach you how to program. Maybe you are better developers than me. So I'm here to share my experience developing Jasper reports, and especially how to integrate Jasper reports in your Java web applications. The agenda for this session, we are going to make a brief introduction to Jasper reports. We are going to point out the common use cases. I'm going to browse to the most common IDEs and development tools for Jasper reports, and the most attractive, and for me, and I guess for you, is the demo part, where I'm going to show you a sample report. I'm going to execute this report through a REST web service. And in the end, before lunch, if you're not hungry enough to come before that part, I'm going to introduce the other approaches, the counterparts of my mentioning in the presentation. First of all, what is a report? You see that I have pointed out the lexicographical or some dictionary explanation of the report, but I want to introduce a rather informal and more up to you example of what is a report. For example, my father served in the Ministry of Internal Affairs in the fire department, and every time when he had to leave out for vacation, he had to depose a report to his chief executive to inform that he is going to be on holiday leave out. The report actually can be verbal and digital. We are focusing on the digital part, when Jasper report is especially for this. Okay. Actually, this was the most difficult slide to create during creating my presentation. In this slide, I'm mentioning the most common use cases of Jasper Reports library. I forgot to point out that Jasper Reports is an open source, Java-based, cross-platform reporting engine, which you can expose in your applications to serve some digitalized data and some archive data, depending on your business logic. Okay, for the most common use cases, what I take a rather unusual approach. I created a survey with 3 simple questions. One of them was, what's the business area you're developing or using Jasper reports? You see that about 35% of answers have given that they are exposing Jasper reports in financial aspect, in financial business. The other about 55, 52, 53%, I can tell you exactly how much, are exposing Jasper reports in administrative business. And the smallest part of our surveyors have answered that they are exposing Jasper reports in the enterprise resource planning system. As well me, obviously. Have anybody of you filled this survey? I have posted on Twitter with the hashtag for Jasper reports, either in plural and singular, in Bulgarian Java user group, Google group, Facebook, Bulgarian Java group, okay. Only then. We move forward. About Jasper reports outside. This slide is about the UI element, the main sections of the document when designing one Jasper report. It consists of how many? 7 sections: title, summary, their counterparts, page header, page footer, column header, column footer, and detail as well. The title is a section that is printed once in every report document, especially in the first page, but there are programming techniques that you can expose to force the title to print on every page, but no matter. The summary is for serving some summarized data on the data bank, which is the most common content section used in Jasper reports. There you place the data of your which your data source obtains from your database or other data source provider. As well, I have to point out the page header. It is printed at the top of every page on your report. The page footer is for providing page number and the count of page. Column footer is printed immediately before the data bank. You can place, if you have to construct a table for your business data to serve from your service, you can place them the title of the table here. The column footer is for actually I have rarely used the column footer in my reports, but you have to figure out what's the functionality of this. And it is for layout purpose, but exactly how it works I can tell you. And I told you, do you have any questions by now? Okay, we can move forward. The Jasper report inside is constructed as an extension of XML language, is the JRXML language. We can see here the the tags of UI elements described in the previous section. We see the static text as active project I have designed. You see the field where we can derive from our data source provider. It is dynamically. This report in the demo is going to be dynamically served. Okay. You can write your JRXMLs by heart, manually, but there are some development tools which is your wife and and okay. About the data sources. Data sources are invoked during the execution phase of Jasper report processing lifecycle. There are various kinds of data source, whatever you want. We have JDBC, the most special for me and I guess for you. It can be a Java bean. When we are exposing a Java bean as a data source for our Jasper reports, these beans are usually wrapped under any data structure or hash map or linked list, whatever. As well as we have a map-based data structure, maybe something, I can tell you exactly, but maybe something like the Java bean data source. We can expose a data source from table model. Table model is a special class in the Swing API for developing desktop applications, and you can easily derive in the past, I suppose, you can easily derive your data source from Swing application table model. But now most of Java developers move to Java for desktop platform. Okay, no matter. We can also provide the data source from XML, CSV files, and XLS files. Anybody have questions about data sources? Whether I can help and introduce something? Okay, moving forward. Actually, this slide have to perceive the last, but it is the time where I have to explain the lifecycle phases and stages while processing Jasper report. The first of all, we have to design a Jasper report with ID, I suppose, or manually to write your own JRXMLs. I'm not sure that anybody had to approach that.
JRXML, which look pretty, but if you need something faster and more reliable, maybe you can write the design with Java. That's also a possibility. That's a dynamic Jasper report.
Okay.
There you have, you might have countless columns, countless rows, use power deployment and streams, so you can make
It's more active, you mean?
Yes, it's take for around 50,000 records. Each record with around 300 columns takes around 10 to 20 megabytes a day.
Which is really useful in our case if we are exposing countless rows of data source.
Around 10 to 20 megabytes, even if you do it with 5 million records, the results the same. But if you make it JRX now and use some map-based data source, you may take around maybe 15 gigabytes.
Yes, a lot of garbage.
A lot of garbage. This is not
A problem causing code.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. The second stage of Jasper report processing is the compiling time. I have to point out that after design, we are composing a JRXML. We are passing the JRXML to Jasper compilers, to JVM compilers, and we are composing Jasper object, which is the only and the most prototypic object you can ship with your Java application due to performance issues. So you don't have to compile every time your JRXML. If you compile to Jasper, you can expose in your system Jasper report without have to compile every time the report runs. Okay, we are moving forward. The Jasper object is passed to the execution phase where we expose the data source for our business application. We are assign the appropriate data to when it's dynamically obtained from the data source, and we are composing the prototype of every Jasper print is the JRPrint file. After that, you can customize the export document on whatever document format you want. You can expose to PDF, XLSX, CSV, or whatever you want. But there are a count of about 10 while exposing the Jasper reports to Jasper server. How I will show you about 10 formats that you can serve your documents. Okay, let's say a few words about development tools. We have iReport Designer, for designing Jasper documents and to execute basic previews to see how the designing process runs. But I have to point out that this product is not is in maintenance mode only until December 31st, 2015. What does it mean? It means that only critical bugs from the reporters will be fixed. No other functionality will be added to this product. As well as I have to point out that iReport Designer runs with pre-Java 8 distributions. What does it mean? It not means that you have to explicitly install a pre-Java 8 distribution, which is the most latest is, I suppose, Java 7 update 79, I suppose. Okay, no matter. But you only have to extract the binaries and assign the home of your Java runtime engine to a config file of your iReport configuration files. But the official design client for Jasper reports is Jasper Soft Studio. It's an Eclipse-based environment development tool with the same functionality of his counterpart of iReport. As well, if you choose to process and to accomplish the whole life cycle with the 4 life cycle phases from Jasper Report Server, you have to use Jasper Report Server. It processes compilation, execution, and export phase of life cycle. What you need to integrate Jasper Report Server with your Java application. If you like to run Maven, obviously I really love Maven. Every time I start informal Java project, I use Maven because I like it. It's really attracting for me to run with Maven. Sometimes it causes a lot of problems, but it's really tempting to solve these problems and to accomplish your issue. You have to assign to your POM.xml file the dependency with artifact ID JRS REST Java client. Actually, I have to point out that it's not public in Maven Central repository. What does it mean? It means that you have to install it manually from your Maven console with the appropriate Maven command, or you have to assign appropriate Jasper Artifactory repository to your repository section of your Maven project. How many of you have used Maven? Excuse me? Most of you. Okay.
It's interesting. Why is it a snapshot? I mean, this is something.
Actually,
private repo, they should have released their software and then stuff with the snapshot should not stay there in common.
Actually, in this Artifactory, it was the second latest version, but I accidentally copied this dependency I placed in my POM.xml file. But as you see, that 6.32 is the snapshot, the latest by before 1 week ago. We have to fulfill our demo. Okay. I'm gonna show you how to execute Jasper report through REST web service with a Spring Boot application. First of all, let's start from our POM.xml file. Yes, it is a
Maven project. We have a parent project from Spring Boot starter parent and the dependency of Spring Boot starter web. And the most important part from us is the dependency of JRS REST Java client uh, that is derived from our Jasper Soft Artifactory Online repository. As I mentioned in the presentation, that this dependency is not public in Maven Central repository. Also, we have properties file where I have assigned the most important and needed properties for Jasper server configuration. These are Jasper URL, where Jasper server listens for queries. Unit-based URL, this is the directory on Jasper server where I store my Jasper reports, Jasper username and Jasper password. Also, there are several not relevant properties that I have assigned in my properties file. Okay, let's move to Jasper server configuration bin. This bin is annotated with component annotation. That's why I want to register this bin in Spring application context. We have declared properties as private fields in this Spring bin. The values for that fields I derive from application properties file as with value annotation, and I'm extracting their values. I'm configuring this bin, and also I have a constructor where I have put in a hash map the return media type of our service with key the report output format and the return type of the service. We have PDF, HTML, XLS, XLSX as well. Okay. In the Jasper service bin, this bin is annotated with REST controller annotation. We are doing the big logic. We are outwiring Jasper server configuration bin, and we have request mapping to appropriate method. I have mapped the method to get report with appropriate path variables. This is a get request method. The path variables are report name and report output format. The parameters to the report are assigned as request param. You will see in the demonstration how I am querying report params request param. In this service I'm constructing the object of type REST client configuration. This is from the dependency I have declared in POM XML file JRS REST client. I am extracting needed properties from Jasper report server configuration, and after that I'm instantiating HTTP session with credentials also from Jasper report server configuration. After that I'm querying report execution request to the Jasper server environment, and with the appropriate with the assigned report name in Jasper server. I'm also constructing object from type run report adapter. This object is going to hold the report parameters, as I'm doing this with this section of code. I'm extracting the key of the parameter and the value of the parameter to this object. Also, where I'm constructing operation result object from adapter object when invoking the run method. We are executing the report on Jasper server and producing input stream resource as the response file document of Jasper report, and we are returning HTTP response entity. We are building the response entity, the response status, the content length and content type, and the body of response entity with input stream resource from Jasper server file. Okay, I'm gonna show you the report that I'm going to execute. This is the report with the most of main sections from Jasper reports layout concept. I'm going to query human resources. It's a sample report, obviously. This is a human resources report with the employees in any business organization. And the report have two parameters, p reporter and p reporter underscore 2. I'm going to assign these parameters in the URL you will see afterwards. Okay, I have launched my Spring Boot application. Now I'm going to relaunch it to prove everything. Okay, it will take some time, and yeah, we are ready. We are querying. I have queried the report before. We are querying the get report method with the HR report with this is the report name and the report output format. By now I want to be PDF. P reporter is assigned delimited with question mark after the request mapping. I'm assigning Lucin as a reporter, and after the first parameter I'm delimiting with ampersand the second reporter. In that case this is Vladu. I'm querying the report and we have result. Obviously, yeah, we have the human resources report with the employees in our business organization. Okay, and I'm gonna query the report with HTML format. I've been asked in my Java Today session to run the report in HTML format, and we're opening with Firefox, and yeah, the HR report is ready as well. and also I want XOSX. Okay. Yeah, we have the report. Okay, that was the demo I want to introduce to you, and I'm going to show you the other approaches of exposing Jasper reports in your Java application. Depending on compilation process, you can expose from Jasper reports library, and also you can use configuration of Apache and Ghost to configure the lifecycle process stages of your Jasper report depending on your business logic, and also you can expose a service of Maven plugin for Jasper reports. There are several open source Maven plugin. You should check out what's up to you, and depending on distributivity you can expose Jasper reports on the cloud by Bitnami. That was all for me. For more information and resources, you can check me out from one of these contacts, and you can do a hands-on to the demo on the GitHub repository, and you can fill the survey from my presentation. And that was all for me by now. Take care. Ivaylo Zashev.